Hi, this is PA Maegen Kennedy, and I'm here to talk to you about Sculptra Aesthetic, one of my favorite things to talk about. And so I'm going to go ahead and share with you all of the things about what Sculptra can do and what Sculptra can't do, and if you are the right candidate for Sculptra and why that would benefit you to get it. Sculptra stimulates your body to build collagen. And so it's the most natural way to actually approach anti-aging because it's your own body. And so it's a particle that goes in, it's a precursor to collagen. So it actually stretches your fibroblasts. Your body comes to see it because it thinks it's treating an infection or inflammation. And it actually says, no, this is not inflammation. This is a precursor to collagen. Let's lay collagen down here. So what's beautiful about Sculptra allows your body to produce collagen on its own. When I put Sculptra in, I put it in areas that you're losing volume, whether it's from bone loss, muscle, fat pad changes, skin changes, hormone changes. So what Sculptra is going to do is it's going to help maintain you and your look for a long time. And so what we do with Sculptra is we want to definitely capture people before they see the aging process happening too much, so we can prevent instead of having to try and correct. So prevention is always better than correction. So Sculptra goes in, tells your body to create collagen in the areas that we're telling it to create collagen. It mimics your bone, it mimics your fat, it mimics your muscle. It is a fantastic way to anti-age and reverse aging. So the best people for Sculptra are going to be your men. They're going to be women who burn through filler quickly, whether it's because they exercise a lot, they have a fast metabolism. There's a variety really of reasons why somebody would burn through filler faster. And so when I see somebody who's thinner, doesn't have a lot of fat pads, exercises a lot, a man, or someone who wants to just maintain their overall aging process, those are the people who we think for Sculptra. And so really honestly, if you want to slow your aging process down and you don't have a significant past medical history that would limit you from getting Sculptra, you are a candidate for Sculptra as well. So Sculptra is extremely popular for a very good reason because it's a natural way to slow the process of aging down and reverse signs of aging. What I talk with people about Sculptra is that when you're losing bone, that is the bridge that holds everything up. And so when you have the bridge falling or collapsing down, you need to support that bridge and give it more to work with. And so Sculptra goes in and it's the bridge to holding up all the tissues on the top. And so with that said, Sculptra is going to go in and support all of your tissues and all of your skin to keep you lifted. What's amazing about Sculptra is it's also very natural looking. And so it's a slow growing process. It could take 6 weeks to start seeing it, up to 6 months. And so it's definitely a process that you have to be patient for. So sometimes people come in and they want to do filler because they want instant results. Unfortunately with Sculptra, you must wait. It's kind of like watching grass grow. And so when you start to see that grow, it's best actually to look back at photos that we take so we can see your progress because it is so natural and so slow growing. We separate Sculptra into 3 sessions. The first session we do your first base of Sculptra, then we layer that in 8 weeks, then we layer that again 8 weeks later. And then the good news is you really only need to manage or maintain that once a year with 1 to 2 vials of Sculptra. So your maintenance becomes extremely easy, and it's definitely a process that people find enjoyable because it's not a lot of product and it's very natural looking. So we have patients who are consistent every year and they look fantastic and they're actually looking younger than when they first came in. Okay, so I want to share with you a little bit about Sculptra Injecting. And so a lot of times people are unsure about what it's going to look like, how we do this procedure. So with Sculptra, I use a micro blunt tip cannula and it looks just like this. It comes in a package with 2. And what I do is use a little teeny needle to get a little bit of a hole for me. Then I take this cannula and it's completely blunt. There's nothing sharp at all about it. And so what I do is I insert this in and I'm able to get to the whole face with just a few small pokes. So your pain is limited, your bruising is definitely less to none, your risks go down, and overall you just leave with less swelling and less pain and less poke marks. And so with this cannula, I'm able to get to all the areas of aging on the face that we need to address. So micro blunt tip cannula is my favorite. It's a European style way to do this, and it goes in and I'm able to really sculpt and help you age slower with Sculptra. So with Sculptra, you'll leave with a little bit of fullness because it comes as a particle, and when we mix it with bacteriostatic water and lidocaine, when it goes in, you're gonna feel puffy for the first 3 to 5 days. After the Sculptra goes away, you may be sad. You may think that the Sculptra is gone, but not to worry because that Sculptra is still there, but it's really just a particle. So now that particle is growing and doing its thing that we really want it to do. So I say don't panic when you leave because you're gonna feel puffy, but then also don't be sad when that puffiness goes away because you will look younger. The more volume we have, the younger we look. And so the more you massage, the better. So let's talk now about aftercare. So aftercare with Sculptra is extremely important, and I'll tell you why. First, Sculptra does not love water. So Sculptra particles love to come together and create a little ball if it could, and it would if it could, and it can. And so those are not dangerous. They're what we call non-inflammatory nodules or little cysts, and those things can be managed and broken up and whatnot. Not to worry if you do get this. The most high-risk area is actually in the chin for this. Again, it's not worrisome, dangerous, and you typically can't see it unless you dig around and feel for it. So with that said, we try and limit the particle from coming together by doing immediate massaging, and you are supposed to do your at-home homework with massaging. So it's 5, 5, and 5. 5 times a day for 5 minutes for 5 days. Now some people have really busy lifestyles where you're wearing makeup and you don't want to take it off often. That's totally fine. You can put and lump your massaging together. So you can do a full 25 minutes a day of massaging for 5 days, and that is totally fine. But just make sure you're getting it in, because if you don't, the Sculptra particles love itself more than anything, and you will actually grow more collagen faster when you're able to get that massaging. You will spread it out even more evenly by doing the massaging. So we do Sculptra all over the body. So for chest wrinkles, above the elbows for the crepiness, above the knees for the crepiness. We also do it in the butt for cellulite and lifting and volume. So those aftercare instructions are slightly different, but it's very important no matter where you get injected to do at least 25 minutes of massaging of your Sculptra. You may notice tenderness, itching, and redness are the most common things after injection. Not to worry, but if you do have any other signs of anything that's more worrisome, you contact us right away. But when you massage, please try and clean your hands prior to using anything on your face, because your skin does stay open for 24 hours in the areas that we poked a little hole. That hole can also become infected with makeup. So be very careful. We'll put tinted sunscreen on before you go, so not to worry, you won't have a bunch of redness everywhere. So we'll put that tinted sunscreen on, we'll take some photos, we'll schedule your next appointment in 8 weeks. You may or may not see the growth between that window of time, but not to worry, because it's still growing and it takes time. Everybody takes their own amount of time to grow collagen. We also recommend that if you're on oral steroids or anything that's an anti-inflammatory, you want to potentially be off of those things, but if you're on it for medical reasons, you cannot go off of it. You need to talk with your doctor. But those things can affect your growth of collagen. And so when we're looking at who's the right candidate, it's somebody who is not on anything that suppresses their immune system, and also someone who's not on any anti-inflammatories. So when we talk about after and how to maintenance it, you may go through a stressful year. And if you do, you may need more than 1 vial of maintenance that year. You may need 2 vials of maintenance that year. And we'll revisit that when we see each other in 1 year. So a couple things about Sculptra that are take-home points that I want you to know for aftercare. Massaging for 25 minutes a day for 5 days. Don't touch the area with hands that are not clean. When you use a massage gel, we'll give you some Cetaphil, which is very thin, to take home. If you use Aquaphor, you can end up with a little bit of acne from anything that's too occlusive. And then also, you really want to avoid putting makeup on immediately after, because the holes could potentially cause an infection. And so it's really an option if it's available to you to consider. So absolutely, if you have any questions, I'm here and happy to meet you, greet you, and thank you for tuning in. I'll talk with you soon. It uses your natural body to come and produce Sculptra and collagen. So let me back up for a sec. It doesn't produce Sculptra. Cut, rewind. Sculptra for life. Okay. So
that could be merch. Sculptra for life.
Oh, Sculptra for life.
Yes, that's what we care about.
Yes.
Everybody needs to know that. This is the message.
Yes,
okay.
Message. Sculptra for life.